So just to introduce myself, I'm Thea Marais and I head up the team at People Partners. We are a team of HR consultants, BE consultants, and labor consultants, all under one roof. We've been around for quite a long time, and we really align with Paymaster and HRMASTER in terms of the underlying values that Amber was referring to in terms of customer service and efficiency, and based on technology too. So I'm here today as the implementation partner for the HR components of HRMaster, and we able to offer a comprehensive service together with HRMaster. I'm going to just be covering two of those elements today, and that is employment equity and the performance management part of it. But there is much more on offer, and you're welcome to get in touch with Ian or with Amber to find out more and to get in touch with me. Just to talk a little bit about how we operate as a HR consultancy, we really are a boutique style business, able to handle small to large projects. We've got clients across the spectrum in terms of size, from small to multinational. Very personalized hands-on service, and professionalism really is the key. We have a team of 14 across the various areas within the business, but we work closely with associates who we also pull in from time to time on various projects. So enough about us generally. Let's focus a little bit more on the employment equity offering. This is very relevant and pertinent at the moment. I'm sure that you probably are aware that there's been a recent amendment to the Employment Equity Act. It hasn't actually been implemented as yet, but it has been gazetted. And that change comes with good news and bad news. The good news is for companies that employ less than 50 employees, the turnover threshold that existed before falls away. So it means that if you're under 50 employees, you will no longer have to comply with the reporting and consulting, etc., components of the legislation, and you can deregister from the Department of Labour. However, if you employ more than 50 employees, you have to comply. Otherwise, I think you're all probably aware that there are fines, etc., that are rather onerous. And the changes in the legislation bring about sector codes. So for various sectors, the targets will be different. Sorry, I said sector codes, I meant sector targets. The targets are slightly different. They're in draft stage at the moment. They were open for public comment for a period of time. There have been some challenges, legal challenges on that. So we're waiting to see what exactly will be the outcome, and we're not yet clear on an implementation date from Department of Labour. So how can we help you with this complicated area? And probably some of you may be groaning when at the thought of another employment equity season of reporting. So that's where we come in. So we try and take a lot of the pain and the organization away from you in this area, and work hand in hand with your management team to implement employment equity. There's quite a lot of complexity in the legislation in terms of the analysis and planning, etc. So we help to streamline that part of the process. So just to recap, there are four main elements of compliance. So the easy part is appointing a senior manager responsible for employment equity. The consultation part can be a little bit more complex. That's having a consultative forum that is representative of your demographics within your business and within the different occupational levels within the business. So we help to identify and to put that consultative forum in place. The next part is the analysis and planning, and that's where it's both numerical planning as well as what's referred to as qualitative. So looking at your policies and procedures, et cetera, in terms of barriers to employment equity. And then lastly, the annual reporting on the Department of Labour portal. And there's quite a bit of complexity there too, because it's not just a numbers game, it's also analysis of your payroll for the income differential section. And that's where partnering with Paymaster and HRMASTER is very useful, because that a lot of the numerical side of it sits within the payroll, and we're able to extract that to be able to work with that information to complete that part of the employment equity report. The qualitative part, however, does require consultation and discussion. So what can we do to help you? We can help you in one of three ways. We either have a more limited service, a full-blown service, and an offering that sits in between the two. So the limited services is where we literally just help you with the reporting requirement and submit the annual report for you. The full service is we help you to implement full compliance with the Employment Equity Act across those four pillars. We also facilitate the quarterly consultative forum meetings, which really helps because we bring the agenda, we bring the discussion points, and we help to really get the conversation going. We find that often managers are not 100% sure what they should be talking about at a consultative forum meeting. So we help to guide that process, and also to help to make business sense of it from a communications perspective, from a talent management perspective, and just really make sure that it adds value to the organization. And then we have a middle of the road service where we it's more about skills transfer. We provide a toolkit, we provide training, we empower somebody internally to be able to drive employment equity. And then we remain in the background, just available for support and assistance and advice if necessary. So that's employment equity in a nutshell. Let's talk a little bit more about another area where we are able to provide support. Again, piggybacking on the systems and technology. Not sure how many people on this call are aware that there is a performance management add-on to Paymaster. And it's incredibly powerful. What I really appreciate about it is that it's very flexible. It can be used for performance management reviews. It can be used for exit interviews, induction, questionnaires, surveys, 360-degree surveys. So it's really flexible. It's almost like a vessel that can be populated for use, and then runs through the front end, through the ESS system. So just to ponder the question, why is this important? If you don't already have a robust performance management system within your business, it might be something that you take back and give some thought to. It's an excellent method of recognizing high performers, and also on the opposite end of the scale, addressing and assessing poor performance early, and following a fair procedure with regards to addressing poor performance. Essential to create high performance teams, to give employees and management insights into what's happening within their business, a platform for talent and career development, increased employee engagement as a result, and then ultimately impacting positively on the company culture. So an interesting stat is that research from Deloitte shows that companies that conduct effective performance reviews are 30% more likely to meet their financial target and 3 times as likely to manage change successfully. So it's really, really quite profound. So how can we help? We can work with management teams to, first of all, either develop key performance indicators, or if there are already key performance indicators, review and update KPIs. We can also, it's a lot about developing the right systems in the first place before you then bring in the tools and the technology, getting it right as step 1. And then step 2 is setting it up on the Paymaster system and providing training around how to most effectively put this to use. So the practical hands-on implementation of performance management and supporting management in that. Then lastly, just in terms of facilitating the actual review process. Instead of just having a one-on-one, and sometimes those one-on-ones never happen unless somebody's actually driving the schedule and facilitating the conversation. So we're able to play that role as well. So we can scale in terms of more limited involvement all the way through to full-blown HR management or outsourced HR management of the process. So that in a nutshell is just 2 of the things that we can offer. But as I mentioned, we have a very strong BEE team, a very strong labor team, which support these services. So as HRMaster, we're able to really cover the full spectrum from an HR point of view. So Ian, back to you. If anybody does need to get a little bit more information on any of these services, please get in touch with Ian and Amber, and they will then direct you to me. Thanks very much, everybody.